Welcome to CS2, an update to the beloved CSGO, but with a much louder op that may as well be a jump scare. Oh my god! You heard that, right?
Yes.
While CS2 is still in the limited test phase, many more invites went out to folks and I was one of them. Keep in mind that the invites are going out directly through CSGO, so if you manage to snag an invite, it'll show up as a banner in the top left corner of the main menu just above the news. Now that we got that covered, let's get into what's new in CS2. As you're probably aware, CS2 utilizes the Source 2 engine, and you'll immediately see what I mean once you start getting into matches. The map updates are beautiful, and some of the weapon skins are as well. However, according to some threads on Twitter, or X, whatever it's called now, some skins are struggling to keep up with the update. As you can see, the visuals here on Mirage are looking great. Moving from CT through A, you can really take in just how much the game has been updated. However, moving into Palace, you can definitely see how the lighting affects the environment. Your player model and weapon react to the light as well, which is really cool to see in Counter-Strike. As for the gameplay, this is where things get divisive in the community. Some hate it, some love it, and it's for a variety of reasons. I personally love it, though I am struggling with some of the gunplay. From what I hear, it's pretty much the same, but I'm not sure if anything changed with CS2 as far as the gunplay goes, but some of the recoil patterns feel like they move up a bit faster. But it could just be me. The movement feels similar, but more hardcore CS players report the movement feels, and I quote, off. I haven't really been able to get more detail on what feels off, but I imagine it primarily has to do with strafing. All in all, I'm liking what I'm playing. Of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the grenades. Flashbangs behave just the same as they did in CSGO. However, smokes and mollies are a different story. You've probably already seen and know about this by now, but doing my due diligence, I tested out the smokes and they're so cool. They even look a tad different based on the lighting and the direct environment. It's only slightly, but it's still cool to see. Of course, tossing an HE grenade into a smoke will clear it, and the smoke reacts to you shooting through it, so be careful with that, because it goes both ways. As for the mollies, they behave somewhat similarly to CSGO, but if tossed near a smoke, they don't extinguish completely. They actually only extinguish what fire is in the immediate area of effect of the smoke, and any fire outside of that persists. As for the presentation, the main menu is a little bare bones at the moment. The majority of the menu real estate at the start is to display your party, which is neat if you have party members who have different weapons and ancient skins. The inventory is pretty similar to what we have at CSGO, just with a fresh coat of paint, but here's where things stray from the CSGO path a bit: your loadout. You can't bring every weapon in with you when you play your matches, but the cool thing about that is that you can decide which weapons to bring in with you, with the only limitation being weapon class and faction. If you don't use LMGs, easy. Replace that with SMGs or shotguns. This also means that CTs can bring in both M4s, so you don't have to choose between the A4 and the A1S. Another thing I should mention is that when you're playing matches and you reach the start of the game and halftime, you get presented with a small animation of your team, so you can see them with CT and T gear. It's a cool way to see what your teammates are sporting, but also probably a way to get you to spend more money on the game. Just being honest here. If anything, it could be trying to add a layer of consistency, as this is a similar animation to how Dota 2 matches begin now, showing off both teams at the top of the game, everyone wearing their own unique skins for their hero. Let's move on to the audio. I'm actually loving the audio in this game. Everything from the audible and positional footstep audio to the gun sounds being revamped or changed entirely. This is a dream. Just so you know, I'll periodically post a short showcasing some of the audio changes, so be sure to subscribe to see when those are getting dropped. For now, here's the Glock comparison so you can get an idea of what I mean by changing the gun sounds. Even if the gun sounds weren't changed all that much, everything sounds a bit punchier. From what I can tell, the low end on these sounds were brought up in the mix, so most weapons sound like they have more presence. And a cool thing I noticed: when you're being shot at by a silenced weapon from a great distance, you can't even hear the gunfire itself like it could in CSGO. I'm not sure how that will play in the full release of CS2, since it might be a little bit too much for competitive play, but we'll see. Moving forward, as this is a limited test, there are a lot of features missing or locked at the moment. At the time of writing, casual has been disabled as well as competitive, but you can still play deathmatch as well as premier, which is comp but with a map pick ban system ahead of the game starting. Everything else after that is regular comp. You're also given something called a CS rating once you've won 10 matches in Premier. I haven't had a chance to get my rating just quite yet, but looking over at some of the leaderboards, yes, CS2 has leaderboards, it seems to be a number attached to your account. Probably something similar to the hidden ELO from CSGO, but now on full display for you and everyone else to see. Why I mention this now is because I'm not sure if this CS rating will persist once we're out of the limited test into full release, but I'm glad to see some revamping of the ranking system here. The developers have also mentioned that you'll have map-specific rankings as well, so you can have higher ranks on some maps, but not on others, so you can see at a glance where you stand on a per-map basis. This hasn't been implemented into the limited test yet, but I feel like it was worth mentioning here. From what time I've managed to get with CS2, it's definitely on its way to becoming something special. While I do feel like the developers should allow CSGO to exist after CS2's release, I feel like CS2 is the next step in Counter-Strike. Everything from the visual update, audio rework, small additions like team animations, and CS ratings, things are definitely looking up for Counter-Strike. I can't wait to play more and see how the final release shapes up. What do you all think of CS2? Have you had a chance to play it yet? Let me know in the comments down below and we could start fighting about it or something. Anyway, that's all I had for this one. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, please give the video a like and subscribe for more. You can also catch live streams on my Twitch channel and periodically here on YouTube as well, so definitely check those out. That's it for me. Stay hydrated, I hope you have a good one, and I'll catch you next time.